Why are you sacrificing with basis?
I'm gonna kill you for
My erectile is not dysfunctional.
Let's use our president, for example.
Are you over 10,000 kilometers away from South Africa?
Conspiracy theorists. I can open the door for you to join the Illuminati.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, how's it, guys? DJ Praya, NippyCast episode. I keep forgetting. Yeah, because sometimes we recall episodes depending on if they get approved by whoever that we are podcasting with. Yo, the view is awesome.
Yeah.
The view is awesome.
It's awesome.
Fucking awesome.
Watch rich guys pass every day.
Make noise for shit.
Every Saturday it's car Saturday.
Hey, that one of that car that we passed there, it's a Ferrari. And then what did I say? Why do they manipulate?
It deserves to make noise because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. I understand that noise.
Yeah.
Like the noise of an aeroplane. I understand it's expensive. Well, even a helicopter, I understand. But the noise of just a bird flying going, I like, come on, my man, I'm trying to sleep. Even now, it's not a Ferrari. Going back to the car, these guys who manipulate their cars to make noise at the back. What type of power?
GTI Polo.
What is the point? What's the thrill?
I don't know.
Fuck. How much is that thing? Let's compare the money. How much is this thing? Because they're just wasting our ears. I mean, yeah, they're making a struggle. They keep on because I'm a Ferrari. Oh, fuck. Don't you think that thing is illegal? Because remember, the greatest thing was to test you and you know, I test you up here. This one is not roadworthy. This one is roadworthy. We're giving it a mark of approval, whatever. It's like now let's talk about roadworthy. I'm sure that thing is illegal. Hey, we need to follow up this shit. Yeah, especially there's a boy on my street.
Because I know with the buses and taxis, buses and trucks, and the two. Sometimes if you put the engine, let's say of a Cummins truck in a bus, there are some areas around Natal they give you fines. So that's
because it's abnormal.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So there has to be some rule here.
And I've got a case of one guy who told me that this car, somewhere, I think it's in, but the KwaZulu-Natal area.
What was the story there?
Same thing. They stopped him.
With the normal car?
They gave him a ticket with this
the illegal ones. But they wouldn't give the Ferrari guy a ticket, no? Because it comes with an approved car. So we've got a case here. I think maybe let's
But they don't even give tickets these days, not really.
Should we start? NippyCast episode, whatever you're gonna see it right now on the screen. Today is a bit of a different day. I decided to drag in a friend of mine. He's a can I introduce you as a DJ? Because he does a lot of things. I met him through a late DJ friend of ours called DJ Kwash, who decided to Kwash, but may rest in peace. And I keep referencing him all the time. Because most of the people that I met back then, he was almost like a trigger for most of the things. Yes. I remember even coming to Pretoria and Johannesburg. So I think I met you through him.
Through me.
It was, I think, 20 years ago, somewhere there. Am I right? Somewhere there. No. I'm sure you didn't recognize me then because I was going to chimbang around what I created as the LP. How do you even justify this? Like, okay. 10 years later, and we're here now doing this podcast. So I usually like introducing my guests like this. Yes, TNutts is his DJ name. His real name is Ndivhuwo Selamolela. What else can you tell me? You've got your own businesses. What else? How would you introduce yourself, my man? Who the hell are you? They're thinking like, oh, yeah, this one, you could dump me.
No, Ndivhuwo Selamolela. Ndimshavi, Ndibhupa. Yeah.
Yo, like earlier today, I almost bought pork for you. You're gonna die. You know, as much as for a guy who's like me, who does research and understands things at like a deeper level, I've been ignorant about ham. I never knew ham was pork.
Oh, I miss pork.
I'm a dumb guy. Fuck, I think they're in a public school, is it?
Ham and bacon.
I never thought, and I was suggesting it with confidence. Like, my man, today let's eat Hawaii and pizza. And you're like, what's inside? I'm like, it's pineapple and ham. You're like, hey. Okay, yeah. So I know you guys have got a lot of businesses. You also have a security firm and all those. It's a long story. Should we do what you wouldn't want to talk about that one today? No. Cool. So the reason why we triggered this podcast today is because during the course of the week, it was Wednesday, we're driving. We're driving from Venda after Easter. So we went past the town called Pretoria. I think that's where I met you the first time, 20 years ago, right? At that time, it was different. Today, it's not the way it was.
It's not.
And even now, we are going there for a show. Killer Wantona's birthday party is happening somewhere in that town. And Top Notch, the older Yep. I think I'll be playing. Are you going to play?
No.
Yeah, because you have got other engagements. Okay, cool. But it's a heavy lineup. Cool. So tell me about this, Pretoria. When did you get there? I want you to tell me about actually Nichko Ambangadzori, the playing, the DJ life. I think let's start on the entertainment side, and then how the whole. Sorry guys, I had flu. I'm shocked it didn't catch my COVID because we drove for 8 hours together. Hey, so you're probably immune. Yeah. I'm sure your blood, we can use it to make vaccines. Ne? So that town. I used to hear about Pretoria, Pitori, Mahlanyeni. Nightlife and the transition. Oh, by the way, we forgot to tell them where we're broadcasting from today. We're at a waterfall.
Polo Fields.
Is it called that? Polo Fields.
Yeah.
Polo Fields. Oh, okay. Here, there's just a lot of expensive cars making noise the whole day. So that's all you'll be hearing. These people, but the view's awesome. I think we'll take a picture and show them later on. COVID. Yeah, so Pretoria. The year was when you got there?
I got there.
If you remember, you don't have to be precise, but I just want to hear the experience of the nightlife and the trajectory of the town.
I got there 96, but I was still a kid. I was still in school.
I don't think I can hear you.
I got there 96, but
Yeah.
I was still a kid. Still in school, like, doing what? Standard 6, 7?
But my man, people who went to Pretoria at high school, they were regarded as cheese boys.
When we got there, to be honest with you,
You were a cheese boy?
no, man. No.
That's what they say.
The parents just
Ujula
worked
Pitori.
hard. Yeah.
No. I don't think there's such thing. People, parents work hard, and we should also work hard for our kids, and that's how it works. You know that it's not cheese boy. So 96,
I get
that's
that.
high school.
Yeah. So where I was staying, we still have the flat now. We used to. We were the only black family in Influx on that.
Only black family. See the first ones, cheese boy.
For some between 3 and 5 years. Yeah, we're the only ones there.
So you're the first black family in that building. I know the building.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're in Pretoria and when you're tired, we sometimes sleep there. I know that building.
Yeah.
Okay. First black. Hey, Mona, there's always first black for everything. Yeah? Like right now, the podcast that is coming out on
We're
Monday.
showing them that we can be there. They're not special. We can be there. We can invade.
Robert
They're
Jenner.
not invading. Robert Jenner.
Robert Jenner.
Jenner.
Vanga se re botse. Hey, Mona, do you know that I would hear stories of about Vachko Vava and Vachko Da Makuane, Then now, when you ask Urwakwa Makuan again, no one who's Makuan, who never Makua, it's like townships. You didn't want that. You didn't want that bullshit. Because I mean, you know, it's so funny. Like some year, I got here like in 2002. So, yeah, like the time when we're doing those the frequenting of it. Ori, I didn't understand when you go back home. They'll be like telling you about Mutunodura Sowe to I mean, they don't know that it's like one small town. Do you speak African? Like, there's no language called African. We speak a lot of languages. So don't talk about Nigeria. There's no language called Nigerian. People are fucking ignorant. That's how it works out at the end of the day. So which I've picked up. So you guys didn't want to be part of the cliches of the blacks going to Pretoria. You wanted to be within the things of things. This is in sunny side that area, no? Okay. So but and with the nightlife. Because the other day, when we were sitting in Venda, we were sitting with our friend, a friend of ours, a common friend. He's more of a friend than me. He was telling us in 1990, what you got there in 1996. There's another expensive car. Oh no, that one is cheap. How much is that?
No. The Porsche.
That's a Porsche. Oh, there. That's the sound of a Porsche. I think as we're talking, when an expensive car goes past and makes noise, we'll tell you what car it is. How is that? Let's make it interesting. Okay, now this one is a Toyota. Can you say a Toyota? No. Okay, cool. So, Akambazori, you guys could walk in the evening.
Yeah.
You not get mugged from downtown all the way to Sunnyside.
I've walked all hours, all minutes, all time of the day. No one would rob us or anything. Nothing.
As Namato 3 years old. Because
and we would even go downtown, man. Downtown. Rabuya, no one would do anything.
And then you guys didn't have cell phones at that time, obviously.
No, not yet.
It was not that big, because they only entered here in 90. Even though they entered here in the mid 90s, I don't think that time you guys would have it, because it was at a level of like professors and CEOs and.
We had a house phone.
Yeah, you had a landline, yes, like everybody else. Yeah. Were you DJing at that time?
When I was, I mean, after matric, that's when I started DJing. Okay.
First song you bought. This sounds like a radio interview now. Do you remember?
I can remember.
Because I remember you guys were playing a lot of records. I remember when we were carrying a lot of your crate. The first gig that I went to with you guys was at there was a basement club there. Night Spot or something.
Night Spot.
Underground.
Yeah, Night Spot. Night Spot.
So what do you remember your first record?
My first record? What did I buy? I'll tell you. My first record was what? No, I can't remember.
What song was big on the floor? What is the song where you be like, this one I'm gonna kill it. Fuck it. This one I'm not gonna fail. Okay. That's a cheap car. We're not gonna mention it. It just made noise. Okay, can we mention BM? No. We'll mention the expensive ones.
Yeah, it's only.
Okay, that's a scooter. Scooter's pizza. Yeah. What was the big song? Because I'm thinking,
I remember.
What type of music was it? Because I know you TNutts is like a hip hop DJ. I know if I book TNutts at any of my gigs and he plays hip hop, he's gonna kill the dance floor. And he always updates his set. It's difficult to play for more than 20 something years and be relevant on the dance floor. TNutts comes to me and tells me things. I'm like, do you know this new song? I'm like, by who? Like, is this guy? Where you guys come from? It's an American. Oh, okay. So is this a thing? Yeah. This is we call him. What's the other one that the one who used to sing with the funny rap? And I was dissing him sometime online. Yeah. And I said, this has got no future. He used to just rap the same.
Yeah, now I remember. First record. It was Hypnotized. Notorious.
This sounds like B.I.G. Okay. That was a fucking big song.
It was.
Proper. And then it was around the time when B.I.G. died. Yeah. Oh, hey guys, we actually hired a venue from a friend of ours who says my podcast never gets watched, only my mom watches. It's over there. He just ran back inside. He ran back. He knows. He knows if he comes. Do you want to say something? Yeah, he gave us a privilege to use his balcony. The song was fucking big, man. Hypnotized, I remember. It was right after it was, what album was this? Let me see. It was after he passed on, right?
Life After Death.
Life After Death, yes. And then, in fact, let's go back to that one, because that era, people believed that the gangster fights were real in the streets. Was it happening? Because I don't think in South Africa we were doing that. We were just enjoying the music.
South Africa, no.
In America,
it was, isn't it?
For real.
Yeah, but more the media than
they were perpetuating. Do you think they were doing it to sell records?
A few guys there and there would wanna do what the media is saying is happening.
But the like B.I.G. and Park were friends. We all know that.
Yeah.
Besides these songs where people catch feelings.
Yeah, but
even today we get dissed.
No, but you know what happened? They were friends, yes. Then he was with Such, got some bad influence. This
is the era when gangster rap was on steroids. This is the era of Tupacs Death, when they were blaming each other. Yeah. And I'm sure everybody was clued up. I was just watching this thing from Venda. I was watching it from Venda, and I think we got delayed news. Even the lyrics, we never really got them on pop. We'll try to write them down, but you guys probably had internet or something. I don't know where you got your lyrics here. You know? So just tell us a story about B.I.G. and Tupac's beef, based on the fact that you're a hip-hop DJ and you've been blazing this shit and you follow the culture. Yeah. Did B.I.G. order the boys to shoot Tupac?
No.
What is the story? Because people believe it was a war. It was a tough war. East and West. West side, nigga.
Remember, also, those boys were still young.
They were like in their early 20s. Yeah.
So it's easy to convince a 21-year-old to say, that friend of yours is the one who did that. Maybe I'm so united, I want to use you. And make you believe that.
And manipulate you.
To be honest with you, what happened, it's Biggie was upstairs recording at the studio. Ulysses and I can't remember who it was. They were standing at the balcony smoking a joint, and then they saw Park walking down, and they're like, "Hey, Park, hey, we have Biggie up here."
Like, open for this guy?
Yeah, Biggie's like, no, go get him. They're on the lift. They hear gunshots. When the lift opens, he's on the floor.
This is his first one where he survived. I think 5 bullets. How many bullets? Am I mistaking them with 50 cents bullets? How many bullets was it? Was it 7 bullets? 5? How many was this first one?
I think
it was a bunch though.
5.
So we look it up. We'll put it up.
It was 5.
Now, if we're not sure, fact checking, just in case if you're watching and say, "Oh, we're gonna mention cars." Is that car expensive?
No.
We don't have to mention that. Okay. We were at a posh place.
It was 5 shots.
5 shots. And then, so that's the first time and he survived it. This is the one where he got angry at B.I.G. and he hit them up afterwards.
Yeah.
Did you buy Hit Them Up? Because it sounded like you're a Biggie fan.
Yeah.
Did you buy Hit Them Up, the record?
Yeah.
For real? So you blaze them back to back?
With me, it wasn't about I must choose one.
You didn't want to choose East and West and shit?
The music.
Okay, can I tell you, to be honest with you? I was on Park side.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm breaking anybody's heart. We had to choose sides.
Yeah.
Fuck life, nigga, and look strong. Yeah. B.I.G. was like, oh man, serious. Like, no, you're weak. Okay, and then as time goes, so now he got shot. He comes out angry. They were making songs out of that, right? Releasing songs. So your first record as a DJ was Hypnotized. and then you would play this, and it will hypnotize the crowd.
Yeah.
Just that we can play it here and sampling it for you. Sample it for you. We can just show the LP. I'll show it for them. So, and then from the hypnotized record, you started DJing. Why did you DJ? Because everybody asks, did you do it? Because nowadays people are DJing for wrong reasons. Like Runyago Lava. Because I mean, there are times when you spend your last money to buy a record to make people dance.
Yes.
You know, the times when you spend your last gas money to go to a gig.
You know, I would get $100, go to Hatfield.
Which shop was this?
It was for real. And then I bought...
For real is the one that Mix later bought. Is this for real the one that Mix later got shares? Or was he owning it at that time?
Mix? I don't know. No, it wasn't.
He wasn't. But I think now he owns it.
He does,
okay. Black empowerment.
Yeah.
Which is the evolution of that town. What I've realized, people have been coming into that town doing what they want. You guys have been making them dance for the longest time. So it's very possible that as we're speaking now, the odds are that if you're watching this thing and you are in your 20s, TNutts made your parents dance. Because the other day, I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I mean, I started playing in 99, obviously in Venda, but when I came this side in 2002, I took it very seriously as a profession. There was time when I didn't have money to do some things, and I didn't want to bother my parents a lot. So I'm like, I'm going to get a job at a nightclub. I just woke up one day and I walked. Like, I don't know what voice was telling, what voice was it that was telling me to walk and go get a job. I just got into a club, but I'll try to buy records and entertain people. But most of the time, I've realized that if there was a person who was dancing to a gig in 2002, chances are that some kids were conceived after our parties.
Exactly.
That are now dancing to my piano. And even tonight at a gig, we might be playing to them. And then their parents won't come to a gig anymore because they're like, hey, I don't want to. But we still do play at some of the parties we were for adults and whatnot. Like, I remember a couple of months ago, I was just at the back here at one of the private functions. But there was adults. And you know those sets, me and you, I think we are probably experienced enough to know what to play when. You know, and for who. I'm not going to go to a gig with adults and play Hit Them Up, for example. Right?
Like the other day at Mokota Money Outdoor. That's Kanye West song.
Oh, that night. Who was playing that?
Me.
It was you. Oh shit. And then no, I think there was nothing wrong with the song. I was just standing next to an elderly person. Oh, hey, I wanted to shrink a little bit, and I was like I don't know. And I was like, I don't even know the DJs. I don't know anyone. I think let's blame Kanye West. I'm like, yes, and then that's how updated TNutts is with the music side of things. So I think let's move from the nightlife. The nightlife how was it compared to today? Was it safe? It was safe. I think we're assuming it was safe. Proper. And then how often would you get gigs? How many DJs were there? I'm sure there was like a handful. How many?
From Thursday to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
But how many? Not gigs, like DJs, like DJ Manga.
It would be okay. I know that hip hop and house cafe, people who would be there.
There was a hip hop and house cafe?
Yeah.
Wow. So you could only play the two?
Yes.
Can play R&B?
No,
they will even believe like a notice like Mama Chamber. What did they do that? I'm just kidding. It's possible. There's some clubs where today they say no deep house between this time and that time. If you want to do an exhibition, go play for your mother. No, I understand. So yeah. How many?
It would be, let's say, I know for a fact. It's me, Johnny Deep.
Hey, shout out to Johnny Deep. Johnny Deep was doing some gig of some brand, I think, last year or year before.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know Johnny Deep's real name is Mavusan. Church Johnny Deep at that time. Church was Johnny Deep. Church Yeah, Mavuzada. Yeah, who else?
Tani, Kabila, Doc.
Kabila. I think we know Kabila, all of us.
Doc.
Okay.
Nati, Black Coffee today.
Oh, well, you see. Nati, Black Coffee. They were playing together. Yeah. And I think I used to hear about Black Coffee from you guys when I was still in Venda to say there's a guy who plays with one hand. And I'll be like...
And then Bubbles also.
No, Bubbles, yeah?
Yeah.
Bubbles was big as well in the movement. I think Bubbles' biggest...
It would be like 8 DJs, but they would change. Those days, as a DJ, it wasn't 45 minutes, man. It was more 1 hour, 32 hours playing. Each DJ. It wasn't like now where it's like just 30 minutes. You just play 15 minutes.
Does it feel like a quickie?
Yeah, it feels like a quickie.
Does it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
How
because
can you play for 15?
And then Nisa Tupacs and also got to I win. It feels like a
number spinner record reverse.
I don't know. We are bored because it's so nowadays there's so many DJs. Apparently in the statistics, I don't know how true the numbers are. There is enough DJs for every 100 people in the country. I mean, we were 60 million here. Well, without counting the people from outside. So there is enough. There's probably like what? 60 million divided by 100? Hey, mathematics is going to trap us today.
Maybe
600,000 DJs. It's possible. Huh? Is that too much? I think we need to research this one. Actually, this one we need to ask Statistics South Africa. But it's a fact. Just because you've got a computer, you feel like you can just go there, press a button. Back then, when I started to DJ and when they started to DJ, there was no sync button. We were using LPs. Like he's telling us about his first record, which was Hypnotized. And obviously still bought Hit Them Up by Tupac. That era, okay, that car, is it expensive?
No.
But I think it's a modified one, like one of those. Okay, now, the one that has now.
That's a big
This one is called Get Out of My Fucking Car.
Yeah.
You know that one, Get Out of My Fucking Car, it just passed. Yeah. It didn't make any noise. So, and then, okay, fast forward to, you mentioned your list, you've got people like Black Coffee as your colleagues in the DJing space. Because I heard about Black Coffee the first time from Quash, where there's a guy in Pretoria who plays with one arm. I'm like, how the hell do you pull this off? Even on the podcast on Monday, we're talking about his Grammy Award on Choice FM. It's going to come out on Monday midnight. We were talking about it. I was just emphasizing because we saw people like Pearl Tusi dumbing it down, making it look like it's nice. It's not shit.
Nothing.
Yeah. And I remember even Black Coffee paid attention to detail, and I was saying those things. Remember the other day we went to Black Coffee's office. They were having a meeting. I don't know if we need to disclose this amount of detail, but I remember they were talking about technical riders. They were deciding on this type of gigs that they should start taking and this type of gigs that they should not go to. So, like for example, Ninga's was going to radio jukebox. Yeah, but it's elevation of life, and that's how people take you seriously when you become professional like that.
50,000 until 500,000.
Quality and quantity, and I always preach this one. What's the point of doing so much? Okay, do you mention this one? It's just a BM. It's not. Is that expensive? How about this one?
X5.
Yeah, X5 just went past, but it didn't make noise.
X5.
Quality and quantity. So if you are popular, and then there is an opportunity to have one gig that probably pays you for all of the gigs that you can take and reject. Let's use a figure. I don't want this to be specific, but let's use funny figures. I'm gonna use 5 friends. Let's say you bill 50 cents. Popular DJ, popular artist, popular at a level of superstar Michael Jackson on steroids. This one is expensive. C63, but it didn't make noise. It just got 4 pipes. Okay, our friend is that one.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a car guy, guys. So it's quality and quantity in terms of bookings. So even when you get popular, what you do is you need to compromise. If Nishi Costa Chitano ni boka, which is 50 cents. If your booking fee is 50 cents, and then there's 10 bookings, hey, I'm gonna get tired of telling you about cars. Let's for cars. Hey, there's a lot of them. This is just a rich neighborhood. I think it's our fault that we're here.
I know. If we need to say anything, I'll say it.
Oh, you tell me. Okay, because me, I'm not a car guy. Okay. So if Nishichachashita, and it's a peak hour, let's say it's December, when everybody's on another level, or Easter just now, we just went past Easter now. You need to make a decision. How the mood to when you're going to offer 5 rand. That's like how many? 5 rand divided by 50 cents is what? 10. That's like 10 gigs. So why don't you just cancel all the 10 gigs and take the one? And be safe. And elevate. And then after that, stop taking that 1 gig all the fucking time. Why do we have to suffer the entire time? Going up and down, Because I saw this thing happening actually. Can a reference with Beyonce and Jay-Z. When last did they have a concert? Can I use another example in the hip hop space? As you know, I'm sure you heard a lot of Dr. Dre's in your LPs, right? Yeah. I'm sure you've got Still Dre in one of your records there. That goes without saying. You've got those. Check the Detox album that we've been waiting for. He's been making us wait. And the last show he did, that was very outsmarting. Yeah, you can do it. Don't know what, Chief. The last show that he did, which probably made him the biggest guy again, was the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah. After the Up in Smoke, how many years? 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
That's quality. And all the time in between was just making earphones.
Yeah.
And then he sold them to Steve Jobs, and he became a billionaire out of that. Quality and quality. He never left the studio and tried to go make 100 bookings. I mean, 20 years of just not doing anything. And then, basically, I bet the Super Bowl, for example, I can't really call it up in smoke, but the internet went up in smoke.
Crazy.
Yeah, went up in smoke. The most Google thing that week was them. By far, the best ever. And okay, well, when I was telling, Craig, a friend of mine, he also contributes here. He comes in as the analytical things, deep stuff. So he was saying, the best Super Bowl was Prince. I'm like, Prince? Who's Prince?
Who's Prince? Yeah, we don't know Prince.
Oh, the guy who wanted to be like Michael Jackson? Look, according to me, the Super Bowl was the best. So, still going back to hip hop, that one is loud. Is it expensive?
Yeah, M2.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it deserves to make that noise. It's like now we're running a car show. Yeah. And then, cool. So I want us to fast forward to now. You are playing in Pretoria. It's rocking. Obviously, I'm not gonna go for gig. You told us about who you played with, and then you can see them evolving. The DJ industry is blowing up. People are coming into the industry. There's arguments of vinyls and CDs. Okay, no, I won't let that one go. What's your take on vinyls and CDs? Because there was an argument then, or the real DJ is the one who plays vinyl, and the ones who play CDs are fake.
And now,
was that a thing? What the fuck was going on there?
This other guy started playing with a computer. That guy had it. I don't know.
What is the story?
Which program it was back then, because we're still using vinyls and they just introduced CDs and
And you guys, were you reluctant to jump into the CD?
Yeah, nobody had the laptop.
So it was not.
It was just only the one guy who had the laptop. He used to play.
There was a laptop?
That's what I'm asking myself.
How, Chief? What year was this?
2000 and something. Early 2000.
Also, it was early. Also, then they will run it from like the way they do it today with an aux cable. Did they have an aux actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's possible. So, but you guys thought you was trying to be smart. Because today, nowadays, these kids are playing with phones. At a party.
Yeah, we've been saying how he's not a DJ, that one. We had a secret name, DJ Computer.
So the trajectory, what I've realized, the trajectory of technology on the DJ side, guys, if you don't understand this language, it will be funny. The entry level, there was actually at a time, there was cassettes, né? But well, cassettes were difficult to use because, I mean, this is just not manageable. But some people used to try to mix with those. But the turntables are the ones that were the custodian of mixing. Let me school you a little bit. When you hear people saying DJs on the ones and twos, they were referring to the
vinyls,
which
turntables,
which is the Technics. Is it
SL
1200? 1200 is 1-2. DJs on the ones. They didn't see the zeros, so it's the DJs on the ones and twos on the ones. So if you're thinking you're DJing with your computer or your CDs,
you're on the ones and twos,
or your phone, you're not on the ones and twos.
You're on the phone and phones.
You're on the
phone and phones.
on the 4IR, on the 4IR, on the 2s and 3s and 4IRs. Okay, we don't hate anyone. That's actually a big debate that we used to have. Even I remember we used to discuss it at the conference. So fast forward to the DJing thing. I want us to leave the DJing thing. But now what I realized in that town, as we're passing, the trigger of this dialogue today, it's no longer the way you used to see it. You showed me a place where there was a scene. Was it a cinema or was it a dialer movie? Was it a dialer movie? Yeah. Or dialer movie would mean that you go then hire a cassette, VHS, and then later on they started doing what? DVDs. You guys used to tell me the story there. I'm sure you used to go out on a date of VHS.
You go there, get a movie, get some chips and whatnot, popcorn. They used to sell all this shit inside.
So you buy popcorn from there and go home. Today we buy popcorn and sit at the cinema. Actually, we no longer do it even today. COVID actually fucked up the cinemas. Ne? Yeah. So if you were to tell somebody,
that's an M8.
What is an M8? Oh, that's a BM. Fuck. Expensive cars, guys. I think we should just bring a camera in future and just point that we can see, because it looks like we're making this shit up. Okay, so one thing I've realized, all over the country, we've got a problem currently. We've got an influx of people who are going into the metropolitan areas and just doing as they please. It started with, is that another expensive car?
Yeah.
Which one is that? I think I know. Okay,
SVR is a Range Rover.
Yeah, I was gonna say Range Rover, but I wouldn't know what model. I wouldn't know what engine. SVR is okay.
Sport, Range Rover Sport.
Okay, I think can you attach value to these things? Should we do that? The next one's gonna attach value. We're gonna say the figures. Let's make it exciting. Some people don't know cars. And I wouldn't know. Like, I just hear these things making noise. Like an aeroplane. Do you think I know how much that shit costs? It's just making noise in the air. So I've realized there's an influx of people in town. In the town that you went to in 1996, now today, which we are still driving to at Killer's party now. And we are late. I'm sure he's going to kill us. Killer is going to kill us. I'm late. I'm running the show. What time is it?
6 o'clock.
Shit, yeah, we need to be there at least in the next...
That's a G-Class. G63.
G63. That's a Mercedes-Benz. I'm a Mercedes-Benz fan. I used to have an old Benz. But it was from the dark eras. You see,
I used to be rich kind of Benz.
Yeah, but I was not rich. I just...
But that's what they call it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. My father was rich. That's what they called it. So the dialer movie, which is what Netflix did in the beginning, they started as dialer movie, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just evolved. Dialer movie could have been Netflix. They just dropped the ball. You know, you could have been. I mean, okay, but today they're losing subscribers. I don't know what's going on. Hey, the internet will fuck you up. Yeah. What were the challenges with your DJing things, with technology? Changing? You're not wanting to play a CD, but you realize, fuck, I need to change this shit. I was surprised when you started.
Because they remember the cuts. There was this time when they stopped doing
the vinyl production. Because I remember at some stage you could only press in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, they were the only ones who had the machine, I think, in Portugal or something.
Yeah, which they also closed the shop. So you have to adjust, ne?
Yeah.
It's adopt or die type of vibe, ne? Okay. So now let's talk about that town. And this town, I'm not talking about that town alone. And I want your honest opinion on this one. There's a lot of influx of people who are not from here. And I don't want this thing to be like a xenophobic thing, ne? Please, guys. Please. This thing, I'm saying it. It's not a xenophobic thing. South Africa is more like a New York of Africa.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody just comes here. Well, besides Egypt, they're okay. Everybody else comes here, does whatever the fuck they want. And they even, I'm sure when they're there at home, they tell their people, South Africa, they come here, they do whatever the fuck they want. And we're saying, guys, go get documented. We're not xenophobic. We need to know how many you are. For example, if you're at your house and you buy one bread for, let's say you've got 5 kids or 3 kids or whatever number of kids, let's use an average family household, 3 people. Then you buy bread for 3 people. You come back, there's 10 people, and you're not told how you're gonna eat that bread. We just want to know how many they are. Even if somebody does some shit, we should know these fingerprints belong to who and who. It doesn't mean that we're saying don't come. The land is big. So now we've got an influx of a lot of people. What I've realized in that town, it's almost what is happening now to what happened to, not happening now, what happened to Hillbrow.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because even Kempton Park now, there's an influx. And they all come here and they do as they please. Aren't you supposed to do as, when you go to Rome, what's the saying? When you go to Rome, do as the Romes do? Type of vibe. Yeah. They don't listen to our rules. They do as they please. And we've been doing this thing for the longest time and accommodative. We've got the spirit of Ubuntu. We're good people. We don't fuck around. We're honest. And now it's time to talk. And then people don't want to talk. Whenever we have this dialogue, they're always going to pull a card to say, I think they walk around with a race, not a racist card. It's like some black people walk around with a racist card. They walk around with a xenophobic card. Xenophobia. I'm like I just told the other guy the other day, I was cutting my grass there at the house. I told him something. And it's like, and I overheard him saying, why are you talking about xenophobia? Hey, you're not cutting this thing properly. I can cut it myself. I'm just telling you.
I know. Hey, what I've realized, ufuna udzula ukoditwa uchilo Africa bad osanya kuamba ngo,
which is now what we want to talk about.
And chibana pokari de kamina chidakharine uimana rinamba ngo maramu yani
Wakotozvipa.
That's one more fixera kure ngosinde
You know, guys, let me release this one. There was a time when we had a gig. Oh, was it you? There was some DJ guy who was doing some shit. And I think he told him where to get off. And that guy was like, oh, yeah, you don't know me. He's like, who are you? I'm like, man, this one, leave this guy. Like, no, well, what I like about him is that he doesn't take nonsense. So, which we are not saying nonsense should be exercised or should not be taken or should be taken. Sometimes you do have to take nonsense depending on how. Okay, that one I don't know.
Yeah, the X6M
is one of those. It's a thing. Okay. So going back to the point. So there's this influx. So whenever I say something, if you check on these social medias, they always have a say. That town, when you got there in 1996, and when you see it today, which is how many years now? 26. No, is it 26? Okay. Yes. Don't you think something went wrong?
Yeah, something went wrong. Something went wrong.
Who do we blame? Is it us?
No.
Is it the
powers that
is it the others?
The leadership.
Okay, well, no, leadership would sit with us, but the people who are walking into this country and just doing as they please, most of the hijacked buildings are hijacked by the people that are not documented yet.
even these white guys, man, they let them do that
Ne?
so that they can bring down the value of the place. Then when they're ready to strike, they'll come take them out and renovate, pick it up for next to nothing, and then renovate, and then.
So it's just a manipulation.
Yeah, that's what's going on in Sunnyside. Corner SLN and Lades, there was a F&B there next to Absa. Oh, Emuna. I went in there. There are a million shops inside there. Fucked up. I don't know what's going on. Because, like, my flat where I was staying, we used to be like, those flats are like 2.5 beds. They would allow 5 people there. Now we find that there are 20 people, man. They give each other 2 hours to sleep. Sleep for 2 hours outside. 2 hours.
You're trapping me.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is, you find someone taking a shit in the passage to show that place is full. You take a shit in the passage.
How?
Outside, you open your flat where everybody walks at the corridor.
Who cleans the shit?
The guy who works there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Are you for real?
You have 15 people in a place where it's supposed to be at the most 5, and it's 1 trailer. So if 3 people wanna go at the same time.
So no wonder some of the things keep blocking and the spray just fucked up.
Even the thing, all the systems are overloaded now.
Yeah? Overwhelmed.
Because of the capacity.
So we can handle these things. And the reason why we can handle it because we don't know who's here. Because they don't tell us. We don't know who's here at all. And we're not saying they should not come because it's this thing where they're using it as ransom. Yeah, very easy. I mean, I grew up Tando Shango Pambana.
It's like these things of gays. This sort of movie.
Which one?
It's like these things of gays.
Of gays?
They just they cry more than ladies. Those
yeah. In fact, no, not even. No, the gay ones I see them, ne? Even the xenophobic ones I see them. There's these new ones. They call them transgender. Yeah, those ones. Your rights don't matter there. They just they were born as another gender, but they transact to another gender. Hey, those ones they've got this thing where nowadays if you speak about it, they do a cancel culture. Like if you check, like a guy like Dave Chappelle, they tried to cancel him. And as I was watching that show, I saw a transgender in the crowd, and I suspect those are the ones who reported him. And I think they were Netflix employees, but Netflix was like, "Fuck you," and then it just showed them all our rights matter. It's just a comic who's just making jokes. I mean, and then as much as sometimes there's jokes in the world, more often than not they are intertwined with reality. Because sometimes we joke about the truth, but we make it funny. You know, like me saying I'm broke now. Because another question would it mean? Does it mean that South Africa is growing economically when we've got an influx of people who are just coming in here, walking in as they please? We are not xenophobic. We have got people that we work with. Yes, everyone.
Even my friends, my first job was from a friend. He was from Angola. He had a thing. He had a business. He brought me in. My other business partners are also not from here. They're from Zim. Angola.
All over Africa. We are all Africans and we respect that. But when you come to South Africa, you should respect our laws. That's all we want. We don't want to bribe you and eat you. And then the same applies to even other foreigners, because there's this notion nowadays to push a narrative to say, yeah, why doesn't it apply to people from France if they're just coming in here? Yeah, same shit. They don't care what color it is. They don't fuck around.
Everybody, China,
everyone, you know. Look, recently there is a current influx of people who are traditional healers, aka the Sangoma. What's your take?
Emuna. Uno dala esa what? Ati baby urukuta mimi. And I'm when I'm more defense. Una story. Hey.
There's a calling.
Yeah, there's a calling. There's always a calling.
They don't know who's calling them. Most of them don't even understand what a calling is. This is a calling. And then
like R. Kelly says, my body's calling.
Oh, my mind is. Which one is? My mind is telling me no. My body is telling me. So this one I can kill it quickly. Can I kill it quickly? And I think I did post on social media during the course of the weekend. Okay, another expensive car. Can't see that one. What
Urus Lamborghini.
It's a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yo, they keep coming. I can kill it quickly. Yeah. I'm gonna give you. This one is gonna speak to dead people and people who are alive. Ne? Let's kill it now.
Yeah.
Today, we are 7.6 billion alive people, right? The question was posed, I think, 2-3 years ago by somebody in Northcliffe, when I was still on the other side at Northcliffe. And this guy, I don't even know how he came up with that question. It was so mind-boggling. I spent a year or two researching to try to find out. The question was, since we're all here on earth, how many people have died? Do we have more graves than alive people? Do we have more dead people than people who are alive? I didn't have an answer. It was mind-boggling. Yeah. I had an answer now. I figured it, I think, a year ago, if not 6 months back. The number is, are you ready for it? 107.5 something.
Dead.
Billion dead people all over the world. So this is either the people that were in the Titanic, including Jesus is in this number.
Yeah.
This is even the first primate. Homo ladies in there, Moses and everybody else. The entire fucking Bible, for the past 266,000 years.
Highly Selassie.
Every motherfucking person is in this number, right? So now in this number, if some of them were chosen by God to be traditional healers in their own clan, whatever, wherever, if in your case, Bashavi, or whoever is supposed to be Sangoma Ghana, I mean, in my case, Aradom, I mean, if this spirit should reincarnate every single time to come back, why is there a lot of it from those? Because we're only 7.6 billion, like I said. Yeah. If you divide it by the 1.7, 100. Oh, Zuma now. The Zuma is kicking in. Yeah. What did I say? 100 and? Listen carefully. I said 107 billion people. Dead people, graves. Some of them probably went into sinkholes. Oscar, this is not going to be funny. Sinkholes also. I can't say sinkholes because now it's sensitive currently. I was going to say it last week if there was no flood. Yeah, but whoever they are, because somebody will say, what if the other guy, did you count him under the bridge? Whoever it is, it's some of that number, it gives us to the nearest. So if you divide it by, do you have a calculator then? Divide 107 billion. Or should we use this one? We can quickly do this mathematics now without going far. 107. The billion is too many zeros. I'm gonna
start afresh. Oh yeah, 107. Yeah.
I'm not gonna put the zeros. It's a simple one. Divided by 7.6. Actually, let's use 8. Maybe let's just assume that there's some people at Wakanda who are not counted. So let's give them, and let's give it 8 million. Divide by 8. So 13.37. So let's just say 13. So all of us who are alive today have to die 13 times to reach that number. So if there was people who have got ancestrally crossover to everybody else, and all of them were going to do it, if you're going to claim it, even including Jesus, whoever, it means that we should have been having 13 callings per person. That doesn't make sense. And now there's a lot of these things happening. So what I've concluded is that we live in a bad world. There's some callings that are not good. Imagine accepting a calling from out of Hitler.
Calling.
You'll just be killing people the whole day. And they don't know these things. Well, it's fine. I don't want to dwell on that one. Because they might bewitch us. They can bewitch us. I've been not going to go to I'm going to call it. I'm not going to It's a thing?
It's a thing now.
This thing is not the real thing. And I remember the Nangas of Kumas in Divayani. I don't need your Mudziwa. Zaniwan and Zanani as you are. You don't have to even advertise on social media and try to be smart and talking to us and have a TV show. I don't know what. Like, what the fuck? Okay. And then this speaks to I remember they are just doctors, like a doctor at ICU, the doctor that probably saved your life at a hospital. You know. Hola, let's go back. Hola, shasha. So they've got some knowledge, but they're just gonna use the trees instead of chemicals. They don't know what was happening. They're not going to so what's going to pass on this?
You know, drop out la medunsa.
Marmara is like a real nganga. He helps people. He doesn't go around advertising.
No, he doesn't even advertise. No,
because by nature, even this thing of a calling, and then you're gonna lose all the things. For example, me and you and our kids, we will literally become we'll literally become
their
ancestors. Why would I hurt my child and make my child lose everything when I'm dead to get their attention? Why would I do that? Would you do that? Doesn't make sense, right? So what I've concluded is that there's third forces that are alive today that are using this thing to manipulate society, and everybody's been misled. The original Sangomas we know, and they know they never lost anything. They know the calling. They were born with it. Sabatu whenever to funo to some to zibadera. What of our pain, we have been to doctors and all the shit. You know. So nowadays there's a lot of commercializing of this thing. But I don't wanna this is another podcast now from that one. But I think we need to wrap up now. Hey, another cup has
another cup has to do another one.
We need to because today is like you were not talking a lot, but it looks like I'm overpowering. But I think this is how we run. It's your first time, and then the last question: are we alone in the universe? You wanna research? Okay, I think the next podcast you're gonna answer me because I'm gonna answer this another podcast altogether. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I was sitting with TNutts, aka which one is aka? TNutts is aka. Okay, Ndivhuwo Selamolela, aka TNutts, my nigga. Yeah. It's time to go. Mushabi and Naya Washabi is another podcast, ne? Yo, fuck! I think you owe me 3 podcasts. But Washabi are not charity, so I think you need to give us sponsors.
Like we sponsored you the venue today.
Oh, okay, sharp. Thank you for watching. Till next time. I don't know which episode is this. Sharp, ne?
Peace.
And the sun disappointed us.
Why are you sacrificing motivation?
I'm gonna kill this one.
My erectile is not dysfunctional.
Let's use our president, for example.
Are you over 10,000 kilometers away from South Africa?
Conspiracy theorists.
I can open the door for you to join the Illuminati.
We're winning everyone.
Nigga.